All right, man. Talk to talk. You know what it is, man. OT show. All right, man. Talk to talk. You know what it is. This is the OT show. Out of town. You know what it is. So look, man. Today's episode, we're gonna be talking about Drake crashing out. And I just got off the plane. I said, let me jump on this right now, cause I got a lot to say about this. And yeah. So before we get into that, I got to get a legendary spill. This is Torture Talk. If you like the content, please consider subscribing. If you're new here, let me work for your subscription today. All the beautiful, single, sexy ladies, put one in the chat. All the fellas, y'all know where to find the ones at. Just don't harass them. I don't sell no merch, but I do have content absolutely free. But if you want to leave a donation, link is right here. Right here on the screen. Cash App, no more PayPal. They called me the hidden gem. I went from 1,300 subscribers over 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,000, almost 18,200. And yes, I am the king of the north. Let me know what kingdom you are from. You know what I'm saying? I got a pretty big surprise coming up soon. So be on the lookout for that. And yeah, y'all gonna be surprised. So so let's get to this, man, cause this is hilarious. He crashed out. He crashed out on a politician at that. So let's get to it, man. Let's do it. All right, this comes courtesy of the Ville. You know we love the Ville over here. You know what I'm saying? So let's go on, man. Let's get it.
So this right here is a very interesting story that just developed. Right here, it says that Drake calls Canadian politician a goof for going to a Kendrick Toronto show. Now, this is interesting because it shows that not only does he have a problem with a Canadian politician, government official, but he also has issues with the city of Toronto. I've never seen a man tell off a Canadian politician over a concert, over a Kendrick Lamar concert, let alone I
Yeah, I find that very interesting that I noticed that Drake, he picks and chooses his fights with certain people. I don't know what it is between him and this politician, but from what I was seeing, this politician had thanked him for following him a long time ago, and Drake never responded. But now all of a sudden, Drake says something to him. I think this is very interesting that Drake chose a politician to actually go after or say or crash out on. I think it's just crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? It's real crazy.
did not think that it was going to be something so severe where Drake was going to call out politicians and as well as show that he is very upset with the city of Toronto, with the place they call Canada. Now, if you could take a look at the DM right here, it says that Jagmeet Singh is the man's name, the government politician here, the Canadian politician. It says, honored, thanks for the follow. Now, I just want to point out that this is back in 2019. And then going as far as today, it says, you're a goof. That's by Drake. But notice how he
But you see what I mean? Like 2019, this man text Drake or inboxed this man and thanked him for following him or whatever. That was 2019. And now all of a sudden, Drake has the audacity to call him a goof because he went to his. I would have been like, bro, I would have really told him off. I ain't gonna lie. I'd be like, nigga, you a fucking goof. Like, first of all, I've been inboxed you and you never said nothing back. Obviously, I feel like you didn't want to have nothing to do with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about this because I think that at this point, are we surprised that Drake does stuff like this? No. He's a man child. This is what he does.
hasn't messaged him since 2019. Even after he followed the guy, Drake never messaged him. He never told him anything. You could see here that he's responded to Drake's stories, but Drake never even responded to that. And he never responded to his original DM that he had put 6 or 7 years ago. So I don't know why Drake feels like this man owes him some type of favor. It did not look like they were buddy buddy in the DM. Looks like Drake had followed him because he had discovered that he was a government official. Maybe he just heard about him in the Toronto or Canadian news. I'm not sure why Drake followed him in the first place, but after 2019, it
Well, there's a reason why Drake probably followed him. I mean, he's a government official, so it has to be a reason why. Maybe him and Drake had a conversation, and then Drake followed him. Maybe Drake helped him on his campaign. Maybe he reached out to. Maybe something happened. Cause you just don't follow somebody out the blue. You know what I'm saying? Something happened, and I don't know. Maybe Drake felt like he did him a favor by following him. Maybe he felt like that. Who knows?
Looks like they didn't talk at all. Not until 2025, 7 years later, where he calls him a goof because he attended the Kendrick Lamar concert. Now, that's a very interesting statement within itself. How are you somebody that's so upset at a Canadian politician, a Canadian government official, because he went to a Kendrick Lamar concert? Kendrick Lamar's concert did a lot for the city of Toronto. It most likely brought in a lot of revenue for the city, for the people in Toronto, for the people in Canada. When people like this, like him, Taylor Swift, when they go to a place like Toronto, a place that's in another country, it's a very big deal. They're bringing a lot of money to the city.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And from what I'm hearing, Toronto is struggling right now. I don't know. I don't know how much they're struggling, but I'm hearing that they're struggling. You know what I'm saying? But that's a fact. But I could understand if this was somebody that Drake was close to. You know what I'm saying? This guy, you haven't even talked to this guy. You really go out your way to call him a goof because he went to a concert. Now, I don't know. I don't know how this message got out. I don't know if this dude leaked this message. I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if this is even real. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I don't. I mean, but we assuming that it's real because everybody's reporting on it. So this guy must have put it out. But this just makes you look even worse, Drake. That now people see the thing about this whole thing is, man, let me tell y'all something, man. The reason why this beef ain't never gonna die is because of Drake. This is not the same as you and Pusha T. You can't get that off. You can't get these things off like you did with Pusha. He don't Pusha beat you. You still got it off, but you can't get it off with this dude Kendrick. He came to your city and took over, bro. You know what I'm saying? He took over. It's crazy. And now you out here really going out your way to call a politician a goof because he went to the concert. Oh my God, bro.
Definitely helps the city later on. If this man is a Kendrick fan or if he's in support of that, I understand. But there should be no reason why Drake should be mad at this guy just because he attended a concert, especially when you look at the DMs. If you take a look at the DMs, look how crazy this is. You hadn't talked to this man at all. You followed him 7 years ago. He messaged you. You never respond, and you're mad and you call him a goof, even though you have no real relationship with this man. Maybe they talk to each other in some other aspect. Maybe they talk to each other in another DM. But from what it looks like here, it looks like he really wasn't messing with bro. And it looks strange of you to call him a goof when you're out here doing those type of activities yourself. I guess it takes one to know one at the end of the day. But taking a look here, going a step further, what I find really interesting about Jagmeet Singh, this is his account right here. There was a thing that he had posted in the caption, or somebody had posted that he was tagged in. It said, "What an honor it's been to witness this journey. Jagmeet Singh, you changed the face of Canada, becoming the first person of color elected to lead a federal party. But you didn't stop at breaking barriers. You fought for us. You delivered dental care, 10 paid federal sick days, anti-scab legislation, and a $10 a day childcare. You laid the foundation for pharmacare, championed the national school food program, and more. Thank you, my brother, for never backing down and for always fighting for us." Now, this is very interesting considering that Jagmeet Singh is somebody that's actually liked by the.
And this is the reason why I told y'all. This is the reason why Drake is going to continuously lose to Kendrick. And this is why he don't know. He's not a people person. Drake is not a people person. He makes music, but he don't. He is such a. It's so crazy to call Drake an introvert. I believe he really is. I believe Drake is a selfish, narcissistic introvert. He's all about himself. I mean, some people say he helped people, but I think he do it for publicity. That's it. But this is what I mean. This guy doing all this great work, and you call him a goof because he goes to the concert. I don't understand it. I would, if I was Drake, I would have said, "I seen you at the concert," and put the laugh emoji. That's what I would have said. But you call him a goof. Now you look so stupid now. Like you really look stupid, bro. Like really.
people. He's a Democratic Party. He's always fought for the human rights of the people over there in Canada. And not to forget to mention that he is somebody who was the first person of color elected into the federal party. It sounds very colonizer ish of Drake to disrespect this man when he's one of the first person of color to be elected in the federal party. I just find it very ridiculous that Drake would go out of his way to disrespect a man that actually is doing something for the people of Canada. You know, everybody wants to talk about Drake being the president. Oh, Drake is the president. Drake does a lot for Toronto. He does a lot for Canada. Well, if that's the case, why would he disrespect a man that does a lot for the people of Canada, that does a lot for the people over there? Why would you disrespect a man that does the things that people claim that you do? People call you the president, but I don't see you over here helping the people, getting connected with officials.
I don't know why everybody keeps saying president. I don't think Canada doesn't have a president. They have a prime minister, I believe. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. Hey Siri, does Canada have a president? No, they have a prime minister. They don't have a president. I guess it's the same. It's equal to the president, but who cares? Like anyway, yeah, they going around calling you these names and saying these things and putting you in this position. You shouldn't be talking to people like that. Like I told y'all, man, I keep telling y'all, Drake is a man child. He's never gonna grow up because he's stuck. He's stuck where he's at, man. He's never gonna grow up. This is crazy.
To see what you could do to better the people's lives over there in the city of Toronto or Canada. Matter of fact, you're doing the exact opposite and calling them goofs. And to disrespect another person of color when they're being elected into these parties, when they're being elected as government officials, you should have a little bit more respect because those are the people of color that are actually taking a stand to protect the people in the city that you think that calls you president, in the country that you think you're the president of. You're not doing anything political. You've never been a vocal piece. So the fact that you're calling a man a goof that's protecting human rights over there in Canada, as well as a colored man, it seems very colonizerish and it seems very disrespectful to the people in Canada. Not only that, it just looks very immature, bro. And at the end of the day, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. At the end of the day, it looks like Drake is still upset. He's mad. He's pissed. He's upset that everybody over there in Canada, especially the government officials, were enjoying Kendrick Lamar being in their country. And
This is the biggest thing that I think that I take away from this. This is what I take away from this. My biggest takeaway from this is Drake has finally realized that he fell off. And I think that he knows no matter how many number one hits he have, no matter how many records he broke, no matter how many diamond records he got, he is number 2 or number 3 or number 4 right now. He knows this. And this is what's really bothering him. The fact that he knows that this man is better than him. You ever played basketball with somebody and I know this is kind of crazy to ask, but like be honest. You ever play basketball with somebody and you know that nigga better than you. You know he better than you. You know what I'm saying? And you might have a better score, you might score better than him but you know his game all around is better than yours. And you can't do nothing to stop him when y'all play. When y'all play, you can't do nothing to stop him. All you can do is just keep scoring your points. But on defense, you can't do nothing with the dude. This is how Drake is with Kendrick. There's nothing Drake can do. And now Kendrick has announced new shows in New Zealand. So he's going where Drake goes. Oh man. This ain't good, bro. This ain't good for him, man.
just goes to show, even though he doesn't like to show it, that Drake is upset about Kendrick Lamar being over there in Toronto. He's upset that he flew through Canada. And no, Kendrick did not fly back to New York and fly back to Toronto. There's this narrative going around that Kendrick Lamar had flew to Canada, flew back to New York, and then flew back to Canada to finish the second night. There is no definitive proof that Kendrick Lamar took a plane at all. So we could stop with all the speculation right there because there's no actual proof that that even happened. But what did happen is Drake being upset with the people, being upset with Canada.
Nah, I don't know about that. I did do an episode about that where I said that I don't know, and I said I don't believe it. I actually did say I don't believe that he did all that, but I honestly did say that I don't see why it would be a big deal though if he did. But I don't believe he did it. But I don't. I mean, if he did, so what? Like my thing is like, so what? So what? He flew back to New York. What if he had something to do? Like Kendrick is a busy guy. Like I don't know, but that's neither here or there. I'm just saying, like Drake is in his feelings, and it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. He's in his feelings like this. Unreal.
People in Toronto and the government officials for actually having Kendrick Lamar perform there. Drake doesn't want to admit this, but he's upset at Canada, he's upset at Toronto, and he's upset at the people in Toronto and Canada who have been in support of Kendrick Lamar. He's most likely upset, might even be heartbroken. To call a government official a goof, you have to be in your feelings. You have to be so upset. But what makes it more offensive is that this man is actually a man that cares about the people, but Drake fans want to call Drake the president. I don't ever see him do anything that this man has done. This man, if I'm correct, before he stepped down, he was running office from 2019 to 2025. And within that time span, he had did more for Drake than Drake's run in 15 years. I don't think that Drake will ever do what this man has done for the city of Toronto or for the state or for the country of Canada. That's just my opinion. Big shout outs to this man because he's showing that people of color could actually do something in a government setting. As to where Drake, he likes to think that he's the president, but he's not really doing any presidential moves, no government moves, just hating and calling other government officials, politicians, goofs, I guess. But it just doesn't look right. You could tell that Drake is still upset at Canada. He's upset with the Canadian people, but he's just too scared to admit it. Let's
Facts. That's 100% facts. Yeah, man. I think at this point, we need to leave. We need to let Drake just crash and burn. No, I wouldn't say that. I'm gonna say this, and I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way. I don't want no. I don't. I'm not trying to put nothing bad on nobody or nothing like this. I'm not saying nothing that I think is bad, but we better be really, really, really careful with Drake because usually what happens with people like him who are in a position of power like that and they lose it all, they might harm themselves. And I'm not saying that to be funny. I ain't saying that to be as a joke. I think and you know I don't really how would I say this? I don't know Drake personally, but I don't want him to do something to himself. And I'm telling y'all now, it's it's a high probability that he might do something to himself. Because you got to understand when you are at a position he's at and he sees somebody winning the way Kendrick's winning and there's nothing can stop him and that whole thing that happened in Toronto 2 nights in a row, you got to understand, man, sometimes things like this, it really puts a toll on people. You know what I'm saying? If Drake loses this lawsuit and his next album doesn't do as well and Kendrick goes on and keeps on winning and winning, I don't know. I don't know if Drake could handle that. If he's in his feelings with a politician like this, and he's in his feelings about other stuff, I don't know, man. Drake's always been a sentimental guy. He lost LeBron James. I'm telling y'all, man. I'm telling y'all. Mark this, man. Mark this. I'm afraid that he might do something to himself, and I hope that he doesn't. But I know a lot of y'all probably like, nah, he ain't gonna do that. But listen, I I know about psychology. You know what I'm saying? I worked at a hospital for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And I have those books. I read those books. I'm telling you, Drake is going through a lot right now. And is you have to be a very strong person to dealing with what he's dealing with. So, but either way, thank y'all for joining me. I appreciate y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one, man. Torture Talk, the OT show. You know what it is, man. Peace. Bye.